准备去介绍球员啊。
Hello ABL fans, we're back inside the home of the Formosa Dreamers in Changhua County Stadium here in Taiwan, and a lot of fans looking forward to watching their team. Going to be in action again in the second game of a back-to-back Formosa Dreamers against the visiting Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Before we proceed to our discussion here, let's turn it over to our Coliseum announcer first.
Three, one，你然后还带到旁边对方。one，所以one这边one这边。
And for your starting five, number 5, Jason Brickman.
所以。
Number 6, Number 8, Paul Zamar. Number 21, Samuel Figura. Number 65, Hilawan Janpatyon. Head coach, Douglas Marty.
5，来 TBS， 来龙。 来，暂时赶快到那个主队。好，然后先到主队那里，还有30秒。
Number 32，金区悍将蔡正宪，熊猫 Number 44，篮球绅士北查理。And now for your starting five. Number 13，梦想家小钢炮周子华。
出2队，来队长。
我们现在呢，请这个
赛季表
All
准
right,
备。
back to Changhua County Stadium in Taiwan. Again,
好，试下。
second game of the back-to-back. Offering back-to-back for the Formosa Dreamers. And they will try to bounce back against Mono Vampire Basketball Club today. Marking up here with Marco Benitez back
来帮我带特
to
队
give
的
you
选手
this。game. Marco,
Ball.
take a look at now the team standings. Mono Vampire, of course, looking to cement that third spot so far.
And they're also looking to build a run here, coming from off a win against Saigon Heat last December. Meanwhile, the Formosa Dreamers trying to arrest a 3-game losing skid here. And like you mentioned, on the second afternoon of a back-to-back, they're going to be up for a big challenge here against the #1 scoring team in the league in the Mono Vampire squad. Mono Vampire squad, as we mentioned, defeated Saigon Heat 116 to 104. Shot 51%, 42 of 81 from the field, 60 points in the paint. Also had 22 points from turnovers, 23 points from the bench. They outscored the Saigon Heat 60 to 46 in terms of points in the paint. So you're talking about a team that can really put on the firepower, and they added 7'5" center replacing Reggie Johnson. We're talking about Samuel Changhua, who will be making his debut here this afternoon.
Speaking of Samuel Deguara, we'll discuss him later on. But for most Dreamers yesterday, they lost to the Saigon Heat 99 to 85, and well, they were led by a local player in terms of scoring. Woo Sung-wei, 21 points, which is a bright spot for Coach Su Hao's Cheng yesterday. And at times, we saw them fight back against the Saigon Heat.
I think the problem was the Formosa Dreamers got off into a poor start, 19 to 28. They were outscored by the Saigon Heat, very similar to their last game against the Hong Kong Eastern basketball squad, and really tried to, wasn't able to dig themselves out of that hole. They were able to bring the lead down. The lead was as high as 19 points. They were able to close the gap to about 10 points in the fourth quarter, but just not able to overcome. Saigon Heat had an answer pretty much for everything that the Formosa Dreamers threw at them in yesterday's game.
As we see the starting five for Mono Vampire Basketball Club, again, they will be their newest, or with their newest world import in Samuel Deguara, 7'4", 7'5", to replace Reggie Johnson, and Coach Su Hao Cheng going with the same starting five he had yesterday against the Mono Vampire Basketball Club now. And take a look at the matchup here. Patrick Sanders and Reggie Okosa in their previous game, both against the Saigon Heat. Sanders had a big outing, of course, picked up the scoring because of the absence of Reggie Johnson. On the other hand, Reggie Okosa had a tough debut yesterday, especially shooting from the field against the Saigon Heat.
Well, Reggie Okosa started out slow, 1 out of 3 from the field in the first half, but was able to up his field goal attempts to about 17, but really not a very efficient outing. As you take a look at one of the guys that really lead this Mono Vampire squad, Jason Brickman, #1 in assists on this team, 11 assists against Eastern, 6 against the Saigon Heat, and then 9 against the Saigon Heat in their second matchup in December. So this is the guy, this is pretty much the motor of this squad. He's the one that penetrates the defenses, finds open teammates, and he's the one that really sets up their shooters. When you talk about Kruatiwa, Apiro Vilachai, sets them up by on the corners because of his penetration.
And you also see the scoring steadily rise for Jason Brickman in those games. And on the other side, Lenny Daniel. We haven't seen Lenny Daniel-like numbers except for that game, their first matchup against Saigon Heat, where he had 22 points, 19 rebounds. But his scoring has been there in the latter part, or in the late teens. 17, 18 points a game for Lenny Daniel, way below his average in the Asean Basketball League of 22 a game.
Well, I think he's having a little bit of adjustment issues, especially in that last game yesterday against Reggie Okosa. Also, the locals were trying to find their shots. As you take a look at the officials of this ball game, headed by referee Bong Pascual of the Philippines. And let's hopefully we'll see Lenny Daniel numbers here this afternoon, especially against a 7'5" center and a very versatile world import in Patrick Sanders. They're going to be playing against a veteran squad, a deep bench in the Mono Vampire. You're talking about a team that is about 10 or 11 deep, and they have a lot of national team experience on that bench.
And the Formosa Dreamers are also looking for their first win at home. Give something to the fans to cheer about this afternoon. Coach Su Hao Cheng And it's always tough to play back-to-back games. But that's been the schedule for the Formosa Dreamers in their, this is, I believe, their second weekend at home.
I think the keys for the Formosa Dreamers, number one, defense. They cannot allow the Mono Vampire squad to really dictate the pace of this game as Jason Brickman again sets up Paul Zambar. They have to prevent those penetrations from the perimeter because that is where the defense starts to break down whenever Brickman enters that shaded area. You force the defense to collapse and to scramble. You leave shooters open on the wings and on the corners. Number two, they have to get their fair share of rebounds, especially now that the Mono Vampire squad has a 7'5" center in Deguara. And number two, they have to start. Number three, they have to start strong. And lastly, they have to minimize their turnovers against the Mono Vampire.
Zamar does not connect on his second attempt, but yesterday they did a great job in the rebounding department, tying the Saigon Heat with 45 rebounds in that game. So hopefully they can duplicate that.
They were also able to take care of the basketball. Just 10 rebounds for the Formosa Dreamers for a team that averages about 14 to 16 rebounds per game. Mono Vampire forced the Saigon Heat in their last matchup to about 16 turnovers and scored 22 points off those turnovers.
Here comes the Dreamers. Okosa rejected by Deguara.
That is what he's going to be faced up against here the entire afternoon. While for the Mono Vampire squad, I think outside shooting will continue to be the key for them. Number one team in terms of points per game, field goal percentage per game. They're number three in three-point percentage per game, but about 35%, Martin.
And they forced the turnover here on the Formosa Dreamers. First one off the game for the white shirts. And again, they're averaging 103 points per game, this Mono Vampire team.
They're a very selfless team. They're number one in terms of sharing the basketball with about 22 assists per outing.
Just incredible numbers from the team from Thailand. Here's Brickman. He stops, sends it out to Zamar. Against Chen. Zamar on the stop down. Zamar knocks him down.
And it's such a luxury here for Coach Douglas Party when you have another player like Zamar who can create shots for himself.
That time he got the steal from Joe. Here's Deguara slamming it home for the Vampire.
Wow, look at the elevation of Deguara. Did not take much. Slam that baby home.
Samuel Deguara, 7'5", running the floor like that, but underneath, it's Chen Yuan with a basket and a foul.
And this is one thing that the Dreamers can do, try to invert their offense, use Reggie Okosa as a decoy from the outside. You saw their passing skills of Okosa. As you see this fast break and Deguara making mincemeat on that break.
7-2 start for Mono Vampire. Chen Yuan completes the three-point play. It's a four-point game. Almost 2 minutes gone here in the first.
If Okosa Martin can bring Deguara outside the shaded area, Daniel can take advantage of his mismatch against Chantachon, but Chantachon there gets the better of Daniel.
Chantachon has been the revelation for Coach Douglas Morty this season, providing steady numbers for them, 11 points per game and 4.5 rebounds. As you see this sort of job by Jason Brickman to Tirawat Chantachon inside, although he does not complete the three-point play.
He was also really able to pick up the slack in the absence of Reggie Johnson as Eddie Daniel there takes advantage of his athleticism. Chantachon had 19 points and 4 rebounds in their last game. They were a plus 24 with Chantachon on the floor.
Plus 24, highest plus-minus guy for Mono Vampire last game. And Chen Yuan continues to attack here. Another and one opportunity.
One of the most aggressive slashers on the squad of the Formosa Dreamers. That's the second time he scored in the paint.
Lead is down to 2 for Mono Vampire as the Formosa Dreamers. And Chen Yuan continue to attack and score at the rim. Chen Yuan yesterday didn't have nice outing. He started the game for Chen Yuan. That's his first start of the season, but he did have only 8 points. As Kwatiwa.
That's too wide open there for Kwatiwa. Almost easy 2 points, averages about 40% from long distance.
Daniel coming to 3 short. Gives it to Zamar. 9-8 in favor of the Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Patrick Sanders against Cho. Here's the switch. Inside Deguara. Tripped by Cho. And a foul first.
An offensive foul there on Deguara. So Cho was able to draw that offensive foul. Would have been almost easy 2 points. Forearm onto the face.
Smack to the face.
Cho Tsuwa.
And still it's 9-8 in favor of Mono Vampire.
And let's see if Okosa can continue to draw Deguara outside that shaded area. He has a decent stroke from the outside, talking about Okosa, as we've seen from his games with Changhua.
Very efficiently when he was with the right after from the field. Okosa right on cue. Marco knocks it down.
Force Deguara outside the shaded area. Or if you're Coach Douglas Marty, may have to adjust to a zone here just so he doesn't lose the advantage of having Deguara in the paint.
That sets the tone for Reggie Okosa, as he only shot 6-17 yesterday, but Deguara showing us the soft touch on the other end, on the turnaround as well.
Exactly, and very little that Okosa could do.
Takes it to the hoop.
That's a legal play there because the ball had already hit the rim.
Comes Mono Vampire, nice fake. And Zamar gets the contact and the foul called on Lenny Daniel.
That's a veteran play there from Paul Zamar, picking up the second personal foul on Lenny Daniel.
So far, Formosa Dreamers doing a great job in going neck and neck with this Mono Vampire team. 11 all so far, 6 minutes, 10 seconds remaining when Paul Zamar will head to the line. Here's that play earlier, like you mentioned, Marco. Ball hit the cylinder already.
Cylinder, you can tap it out. And that was what referee Bob Pasquale was explaining. To Formosa head coach.
But a quick start for Paul Zamar in this game. 6 points, a three-pointer, drench basket earlier, and now he knocks down both free throws. So off the bench, it's Lee Ping Hong in for Formosa. He's going to be replacing Lenny Daniel. Interesting move for Coach Suao Cheng.
2 personal fouls for Lenny Daniel, so they cannot afford to risk him picking up a third one here in the first quarter. So it's going to be a very small lineup here for the Formosa Dreamers.
Okosa. Chai Wei. Chen goes to Okosa. Luego got denied.
Defense there from Kuakiwa.
Brickman on the move. Sends it to Deguara. Deguara too deep, but unable to make the shot. Here's Chai Wei. Sends it to Okosa. Right in the middle of the glass and in. And according to our referee here, it counts for Reggie Okosa.
And it's going to be he's going to call Kuakiwa for a flopping violation. Oh, it's going to be a warning, so no foul call. Just warning Kuakiwa for that flop. It will be a technical.
But the basket counts for Reggie Okosa. So we're tied 13 all. Almost halfway done here in the first. Jason Brickman bringing the ball down for Mono. Sanders. Sanders having difficulty right in the middle.
A little bit of adjustment here for the Mono Vampire squad. First time with Deguara on the floor, so still having a feel-out period here.
Because unlike Reggie Johnson, Samuel Deguaras is almost always in the paint.
That's correct.
Reggie Johnson likes to stay outside sometimes and shoot that three-pointer. That's going to be an adjustment. Mono Vampires, Changhua stays on here. Another basket for him. They take the lead for the first time.
You notice the offense of the Dreamers. You have 5 players outside the 3-point line. Really just negating the height of Deguara.
8 points to start this game for Changhua. Here's a steal. Cho goes to Chai Wei. too strong on the three. Almost out of bounds.
5。
So possession will go back to Mono Vampire.
新闻有没有？好。Four.
All right, timeout here. It's the Formosa Dreamers, the home team with a 2-point lead, 15 to 13 in your ABL. We'll be back after this.
8、7、6、
我的搭档 Danny 呢，我们要来送上小球给大家。
这个
待会呢要邀请大家中场来玩游戏哦，由我们朝日堂呢提供的中场游戏给大家。哪边想要的欢呼声在哪里？
有没有？
上面的朋友，
上面的朋友有没有？
好，
中场游戏哦。
我们先来看看上面的朋友。
那个 DJ 到底有没有在表演？
上面的拿到小球的，待会来下来找我们的工作人员。考验我们贝利的时候了。
戴帽子的那个女生。
啊，小米，她回家了哦。
好，
太可恶了。
好，来这边的朋友，来，我看到你了，女生就是你，穿绿色，对，就是你，瑞玉胜，来，球给你，来，找我们的啦啦队。
8，
这边的朋友
6、5、4、3。
我们想挑一位小朋友。
We're back inside Changhua County Stadium, and for the timeout, it's the Formosa Dreamers with the lead for the first time, 15 to 13 in the first, and it's care of this guy, Chen Yuhan. 8 points for the Dreamers, 8 out of the 15 points so far.
And they've also forced the Mono Vampire squad to 4 turnovers and have converted every time. 8 points off turnovers here for the Dreamers, so this is a very good start for them here in the first quarter.
Yesterday they had 13 points off turnovers as we see Paul Zamar fish the foul from behind.
And another smart play there coming from Paul Zamar, beating Cho with a shaded air and absorbing the contact from behind.
Cho Tsuwa calls for the personal foul. Slight touch from behind on Paul Zamar. It's going to be the first personal for Cho Tsuwa. Yesterday he got thrown out because of an unsportsmanlike foul and a technical foul.
Paul Zamar, third leading scorer of this Mono Vampires, next to Reggie Johnson when he was still there, and Patrick Sanders after about 15.6 points per game and shooting a stellar 40% from long distance.
Now he has 9 points to begin this game. Chai Wei, hesitation, left-handed layup, no good. Rickman gets the board.
Defensive adjustment as well for the Mono Vampire squad with Patrick Sanders now picking up Reggie Okosa.
Shoots it, and a foul on the rebound. Chai Wei will be whistled for the foul. He is unable to box out Patrick Sanders.
And an offensive possession for the Dreamers. No reason for Chai Wei to really take it inside. He was wide open from outside as Dek Guantiwa, the three-point specialist, knocks his first one down.
First one for Guantiwa in the game. Here's Chen Yuhan. This time he loses the ball. And a turnover for the Formosa Dreamers. That is their third one off the game. A substitution here. Darongpan Aperong Vilay Chai checks in for Samuel De Guara.
Lee Song Wei, the hero of yesterday's game, 21 points off the bench, 5 of 7 from long distance. Zone defense now for the white shirts.
Brickman sends it out. Back to Sanders now. Well read by Lee Bing Hong. Head to Cho. He goes to Okosa on the move. Okosa got stripped, yes.
Quick hands there from Guantiwa. It's a second deflection, or the second block he's made inside the paint.
Cho will get the ball inside. Goes to Wu against Brickman. Chen Yuhan. Oh, he stays on. 10 points now for Chen Yuhan.
Nice ball movement there from the Dreamers, finding the open Chen Yuhan in the short corner.
Sanders will try to answer. Nothing there. Cho on the move. Cho with the ball. He goes to Okosa. Bad pass.
Miscommunication there between Cho and Reggie Okosa.
Turnover for the Formosa Dreamers. 17-18. Mono on top.
So far, it's the Dreamers that are dictating the tempo of this game.
To Sanders. So Fosa now. One world import per team. Nice steal from Wu Song-wei. He will go all the way.
The squad finding themselves in very unfamiliar territory. Another turnover for them. This is turnover number 6.
First 2 points for Wu Song-wei. Kwatiwa tries to answer. In and out on the 3 and a foul on Patrick Sanders.
That's going to be the second personal foul. Sorry, make that first personal foul on Patrick Sanders. Coach Douglas Marty is going to send Chip Chan in the ball game for Paul Zamar.
Zamar checks out with 9 points.
For a more defensive presence on the wing.
2.5 minutes remaining in the first. Here's a steal from behind. Brickman takes the ball away. Brickman on the other side gets the foul on Cho. Second personal on Cho Tsuwa.
That is one thing about the Mono Vampire squad. Their backcourt is one of the smartest in the league. Brickman and Paul Zamar. That time Brickman drawing the contact against Cho Tsuwa.
And an automatic foul on the break. Formosa Dreamers over the limit already, although that was, or he fouled Brickman in the act of shooting. So 2 free throws for Jason Brickman.
Jason Brickman averages about 2 steals per ball. So Okosa has to be very wary about where Brickman is on the floor.
Jason Brickman had 21 points in the previous game. Played 9 times. Doing enough, or more than enough for Mono Vampire to take that game away from the Saigon Heat.
And Mono Vampire putting on some full court pressure here.
Dreamers in a close one. Trailing by 1, 19-20. Both world imports on the floor. Wu fires it up, knocks it down!
And continuing where he left off from yesterday. First attempt, first 3-pointer of the game for Wu Song-wei.
And the Dreamers force the turnover on the other end.
And you like the defensive pressure here, scrambling on the perimeter, which is one of the keys that we mentioned. Perimeter defense, forcing turnover number 6. I'll make that number 7 for the Mono Vampire squad.
Oh, but they throw the ball away. Miscommunication from Chen Yuhan and Lenny Daniel. Couldn't take advantage of that possession. Minute 46 left in our opening quarter. Brickman goes to Kwatiwa. Kwatiwa falls down. Mandy saves the ball. And goes out of bounds anyway.
You see how extended this Dreamers defense is. Pretty much nobody in the shaded area.
It's 22-20. Back-to-back turnovers for Mono Vampire. Let's see what the Dreamers can do. Okosa on the post. Daniel down the middle. Daniel got fouled. Chichay Ananti with his first personal off the game.
And that's going to send Lenny Daniel to the free throw strike. 5th team foul here of Mono Vampire.
Here's that foul again. Clear one from Chichay Ananti. Only the second trip to the line for Formosa. It's going to be Lenny Daniel taking the free throws. He was 2 out of 4 yesterday. Danny Daniel had 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 dimes against the Saigon Heat. 1 out of 2 on that trip. Formosa Dreamers on top by 3. Minute and 13 left in the first. Brickman setting the table. Kwatiwa goes to the middle. From Vilay Chai. They swing it around. Kwatiwa. Almost a steal for the Dreamers. Ananti left wide open. Jumper goes for Chichai Ananti.
And how about the presence of mind coming from Jason Brickman? Almost another turnover there, but finding Ananti in the short corner.
Mismatch here. Daniel on Kwatiwa. Daniel on the double bump. No good. Ananti on the move. Chichai out of control. Bounces it off Wu.
This is where Chichai Ananti thrives in the open court, especially off a turnover there. That time just not able to get a handle on that one.
Here's a substitution. Chai Wei will check back in. Lenny Daniel will go to the bench.
Good substitution for Coach.
Inbound, Sanders with a miss. Wu gets the rebound. 29 seconds remaining in the first. Dreamers on top by 1.
He will try to hold for a quality possession here.
Chen Yuhan, hot guy for the Dreamers, 10 points. And he draws a foul. He takes a trip to the free throw line, and Patrick Sanders called for the personal. That's going to be the second foul on Patrick Sanders if it's on him.
That's a good strong drive there coming from Chen Yuhan.
Chen Yuhan, 10 points again in the first.
Very aggressive here in the first quarter. And he has helped the Dreamers really dictate the tempo of this game.
And he also rewards Coach Su-Hao Cheng's decision to start him for the second game in a row. 12 points.
Full score 2-2-1 here for the Dreamers.
Ananti fakes it. Foul on Reggie Okosa.
Reggie Okosa coming out too hard on the challenge against Ananti. Was not really necessary, as Ananti not really known as one of the better three-point shooters on the Mono Vampire squad.
And with the Dreamers in the penalty, Ananti shoots 2 free throws. Lenny Daniel back on the floor. Ananti knocks down the first.
A very good free throw shooter, averaging still perfect on the season.
Great percentage for Ananti, and he continues to stay perfect at the free throw line. 2 out of 2. Chai Wei to end the first, no good. Brickman with a heave. And that is all for Jason Brickman at the end of the first. A 1-point lead for the home team. 25-24, a better start from them. As again, they take the 1-point lead. Formosa Dreamers on top here at home, Changhua County Stadium. We come back, second quarter action of this game. This is your Asean Basketball League.
主攻要替我哈。 30秒。
好，啦啦队，我们手上有别针送给大家，来点欢呼声，下面的朋友们。好，
主控你要 Q 我哦。
投出手上的保护狼，1、2、3，请投出。我们精心设计的别针，徽章都会送给各位。
8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。
All right, we're back inside Changhua County Stadium for more action here in the Asean Basketball League. And after the first, it is a better start again for the Formosa Dreamers as they lead it by 1, 25-24 over the visiting Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Martin up there with Marco Benitez, and Marco again, Formosa Dreamers off to an unfamiliar start. I think this is one of the first games they've actually led after the first. Now, what do they need to do for them to be able to maintain this, especially against a high-octane team that the Mono Vampire is?
Well, they have to continue keeping up the defensive pressure with the defense being fueled their offense in that game. They forced the Mono Vampire squad to 8 turnovers in the first quarter, scoring 13 points off turnovers, 8 of those coming on fast break attempts. So they were also able to dictate the tempo of that first quarter.
This is despite, their world imports combining for only 8 points in the first tie-break quarter. They knocks it down.
And that basket again coming off, beautiful ball movement from the right side of the floor, going all the way to the left corner for Chai Wei.
First make of the game for Chai Wei. It came after 5 attempts. Ananti fires. Deguara with the offensive board. Fakes the pass, Deguara. Soft touch again from the big guy.
Easy 2 points there for Deguara. Pretty much nobody can challenge him up top.
Yep. And Samuel Deguara making his debut for Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Full corner 3. Too strong from Bilay Chai. Cracks down the board.
Let's see if the Mono Vampire squad can do a better job playing with Deguara on the floor as Ananti hits that 3-point shot. It's going to be a quick timeout here. 5-0 blast here for the Vampires.
29-28 Mono Vampire on top. Your ABL. We'll be right back.
一个下，动4秒，9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。 30秒。9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。
Back in Taiwan for more Asean Basketball League action, and before the timeout, with under a minute and a half gone here in the second, Mono Vampire back on top by 1, 29-28, courtesy of a 5-0 blast here in the second. The first one was a basket from Samuel Deguara, and the last was a 3-pointer for Chipchai Ananti. So it's 29-28.
It's Mono Vampire's turn to put up some full court pressure. That's his second miss in a row. But Lenny Daniel able to get an offensive rebound.
Nokosa, leaping hook. Free from the left wing, no good. Deguara gets the board, or leaping hook. Able to tap the ball away, but possession will remain with Mono Vampire.
And for Mono Vampire, Martin, I think it's just a matter of learning how to play with a 7'5" center.
Yep.
Especially on the defensive end as the Dreamers try to draw him out of the paint.
Of course, this is only their first game with Samuel De Guara. Coming in for Reggie Johnson. Vichai Anandi. No good on the layup from Vichai. Taps it from behind and saves it to Chantachon. Zamar from way outside. Zamar knocks it down.
Straight away three-point shot there from Zamar. Fourth three-pointer of the game for the Mono Vampire squad.
And it is an 8-3 start for Mono Vampire here in the second. They take the 4-point lead. 7:42 remaining for Formosa Dreamers. Just struggling in the previous possessions.
Coach Su Hao Cheng substituting Woo Sung Wei. Not happy with the shot selection of his guard.
So it's going to be Lee Ping Hong, Chai Wei, Chen Yuhan, Danny Daniel, and Reggie Okosa. 5 on the floor for the home team.
There's that full court pressure from the Mono Vampire.
Daniel right in the middle, challenging De Guara.
Tough fall there from Lenny Daniel.
Ananti goes inside, Chantachon, the fake, the shot, no good. De Guara with the offensive board, and that's just too big, too tall. Samuel De Guara with a basket.
Lenny Daniel still smarting from that fall. Cannot believe no foul was called.
Gotta be careful here if you're Formosa. It's a 6-point lead now for Mono. Okosa sends it to Lee. Loses the ball. Zamar with a dive and sends it to Ananti for the breakaway layup.
And this is more of the Mono Vampire squad that we are familiar with. Defense fueling their offense.
12-3 start in the second.
And that's going to be another turnover here. 8-second violation for Lee Ping Hong. And you see the big difference, Martin, that De Guara is no longer coming outside the paint, just staying inside.
This was the last play. Great hustle from Paul Zamar. And very wise decision to go to Chichai Ananti to score the easy lay-in. De Guara for book. Nothing there. Chantachon with a tip.
They have the opportunity to be really very dominant on the glass. Chantachon very aggressive on the offensive glass, and almost another steal there from Chichai Ananti.
Mono Vampire takes their biggest lead off the game at 10, 38-28. Formosa Dreamers slowly falling apart in the second period. They've only scored 3 points.
Now that the Vampires have really turned up the pressure defensively. Dreamers finding themselves in a bind. That was a good pass to Lenny Daniel.
There's Chen Yuhan with a setup job. So he gets the second foul on Samuel De Guara.
Every time Chen Yuhan has penetrated that painted area, it has resulted in good things for the Formosa Dreamers.
Here's Lenny Daniel, only 3 points in the game, 1 out of 5 from the field.
Let's go, guys.
And now 1 out of 3 from the line.
What's up?
Daniel 0 out of 2. Continuing the struggles against Mono Vampire. Zamar against the pesky Chotsua. Zamar shoots the 3. Ananti the offensive board. And a hold from behind on a Chai Wei.
And you love also the intensity and aggressiveness of Anandi. He has really changed the complexion of his game with his defense and his hustle.
Chichai Ananti off the bench has 9 points in only 6.5 minutes of play as he checks out for Mono Vampire.
How about the plus-minus on Anandi? Plus 11 when he is on the floor.
He playing better with Chichai. De Guara. No good. Brickman gets the board.
Chantachon keeping the ball alive twice on that possession.
Brickman against Chai Wei. Brickman on the attack. De Guara retrieves the ball. Rejected by Okosa. Okosa picks up the leather.
And that is That looks like it's going to be the third personal foul on Deguara. There's a block coming from Reggie Ocosa.
Nowhere to go from Deguara there.
And that's going to send Patrick Sanders into the ball game for Deguara.
So interesting development here for Mono Vampire. But again, they played their previous game without Reggie Johnson and only Patrick Sanders as their world import. So they're kind of used to this kind of setup. So they send it to the other side. Changhua with a pass to Ocosa off the glass. That rims out, yes.
Changhua so active in the interior, really causing a lot of problems for Reggie Ocosa.
Changhua gets it to Zamar. Back to Changhua. Hand off again to Zamar. Zamar bordering the lane. Ocosa gets the board. Reggie brings the ball down. Back to Cho. Lots of time to work with for Formosa. Changhua penetrates. Layup is off. Brickman on the move. The handoff to Aperov Vilaychay. Back to Brickman. They go to the corner. Aperov Vilaychay stops and sends it out. Brickman will set the table. Yes.
Confusion there.
Changhua for three. Brickman again the offensive board and the putback.
And Jason Brickman turning garbage into goal there. Another offensive rebound for the Mono Vampire squad. That is their 10th of the ball game.
A 16-3 onslaught to begin the second period for Mono Vampire. So wide open for three. No good. Changhua gets the board.
Changhua almost single-handedly manning the fort inside.
Gotta love the action from this guy. Zamar wide open for three. He gets it through.
It's a big three from Paul Zamar. 15 points in the game. Another assist from Jason Brickman. That is his 6th in the first half.
And just like that, it's a 15-point advantage for Mono Vampire. 43-28. We have 3 minutes, 37 seconds left here in the first half. Your ABL will be right back.
Hill. Hill. 把速度打起来。这我要怎么跟你讲啊 ？Michael。我拿。我跟他讲。那个。现在，我们都在外面打老球。我们现在外线投不进，你只要想办法要有人接到球之后切进去破坏他，传给他，懂吗？不要只外面打好球。我们现在外面没有外线，还是要投，有信心的还是要投，不要随便放掉。再防守退回来快一点点。 讲话 ，Go！
Everybody box out！ 要挡人篮板都是后卫冲最强。
One, two, three.
Welcome back to our coverage here, and Mono Vampire again on top by 15, biggest lead of the game for them. 3:37 to go in the first half. And Marco, we talked about Mono Vampire being the highest scoring team in the league, and just like that, in a snap, they can do a run and you know, just put points on the board, a lot of points right away.
And you know, this is another one of the lessons that the Dreamers are going to have to learn. You cannot afford to relax at any point in the ball game. Remember, this Mono Vampire squad was down by 13 points in the second half against the Saigon Heat, able to come back and force overtime. So they were down by just 1 to end the first quarter. And the Dreamers cannot afford to relax after their good first quarter. They see what happens. They get blown out 19-6 right now. 19-5 in the second.
Brings it right for Formosa. Cho with a jumper on the other end. And they get the stop against Mono. Chen Yuhan gets to the pin. Yuhan, nice fake. First miss from the field for Chen Yuhan. Zamar. Wraparound pass to Sanders, no good. Cho again, pushing the ball. Cho hands it off to Chen Yuhan and a foul away from the ball against Lee Cha-ching.
That's going to be an offensive foul on Lee Cha-ching.
So Woo Sung-wei would check back in for Chen Yuhan.
Yang Kian-yo also on the floor, so no Reggie Ocosa for the Dreamers.
A three-guard lineup for Coach Su-hao Cheng. With the front line consisting of Lenny Daniel and Lee Cha-ching. Zamar gets the screen. Zamar removed. Nice tap to Lenny Daniel from Lee. Daniel on the move. He gets the layup to go.
Yeah, pretty much nobody can stay with Lenny Daniel as he's going downhill in transition. So good, strong drive there from Lenny Daniel.
And a 4-0 run for the Formosa Dreamers as they cut this lead to 11 points, 43-32. Lenny Daniel getting the basket there. 2.5 remaining in our first half. Your ABL will return.
For example, if we have Patrick and Paul here, take that handoff with pace. Turn that corner, take it and accelerate. Make them collapse. Let's not go slow now. Let's have good movement. Make them work on defense, basically. Make them work on defense. Okay? All right? Let's come back one now. That's one, all right? Okay? We can all pick and roll. We can switch all pick and roll. On everything. Okay? So back to one. Get your matchup. Okay? All right. Our ball. A good C game. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
cross。雷宁，go high post， 可以投不行，给雷宁，接到球之后，往前，自由，那个谁，中卫继续再往下走，好吧？防守一样在上来啊。1, 2, 3.
And resuming our coverage right here in your Asean Basketball League, the Formosa Dreamers with a 4-0 run to bring themselves to within 11 points against Mono Vampire, 43-32, with over 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. It's going to be interesting to see if they are going to be able to build on this mini run against Mono Vampire. They were unable to do that yesterday against the Heat.
Actually, a good time out there from Marty, but really great shot off a timeout coming from Patrick Sanders. And that's going to be a technical foul on Cho Tsuwa for flailing that time, trying to draw the foul. That bites him in the back.
So Tsuwa called for another technical again yesterday.
We've seen Martin in the games that we've covered here in Formosa that they're really prone to those flailing movements to try to draw the foul from defenders. Referees now the wiser, not buying any of that.
And Cho Tsuwa will take a rest. Revenge of the Formosa Dreamers. It's Radek Katiwa takes the technical free throw. That's a way to break the momentum of the Formosa Dreamers.
And it's just unfortunate. It's the Dreamers that shoot themselves in the foot.
Back to a 12-point lead. Patrick Sanders on top against Lenny Daniel. Great important matchup there. Zamar on the post-up. Fake. A traveling violation of Patrick Zamar.
Shuffling his feet there did Zamar, but the Mono Vampire squad continues under full court pressure.
1 minute 36 seconds remaining in the first half. It's Yang Tian-yo bringing the ball down. He will set the table for the Dreamers. chance to cut this lead to 10 or 9 with a 3. Yo sends it to the other side. Back to Lenny Daniel on top. Lenny, double team, shoots over 2 defenders, no good.
Tough shot there, good defense from the Mono Vampires.
Sanders on the blow by. Great move by Patrick Sanders. And both world imports down. Lenny Daniel and Patrick Sanders on a collision earlier. See that play again. Sanders getting the layup to go.
Oh, it's both imports butt heads on that sequence. Inadvertent.
But great sportsmanship for both players. Talking it out here.
A good strong drive from Patrick Sanders, who has really not gotten into the groove. Sanders still just...
That's actually his first field goal, yes.
Yeah, first field goal, first 2 points of the game. It has been Paul Zamar who has carried the scoring load. 15 points for Zamar. De Guara has 8. And Chichay Ananti with 9 points off the bench.
Chichay, another great game for him. 14 points against the Saigon Heat. Their last game in 2017, now he has 9. Off to a great start in 2018.
And this is just a testament to how deep this squad is for Coach Douglas Marty. He has even yet used Kanut Samuchai.
And Amadon Vilay Chai also hasn't attempted from the field. Chai Wei makes the corner 3. He'll go inside. Daniel with a reverse.
A good strong move from Lenny Daniel. No shot blocker on the floor. Apart from Patrick Sanders.
Sanders, oh, top of the key, 3 is good.
Patrick Sanders, a reliable 3-point shooter. Hits it at about a 42% clip. So you cannot leave him open.
5 quick points for Patrick Sanders. And a foul, great decision for Young to attack the defense there. 15-point lead for Mono Vampire.
That's for a good 2 for 1 here for the Dreamers.
Young feeds it off to Okosa, still no good.
Martin deflected there by Kroakiwa.
Bonga. And a foul away from the ball. It's going to be against Yang Kian Yo as he tries to fend off Patrick Sanders. With 23 seconds left. It's a sideline inbound. Neither team in the penalty here.
17 seconds on the shot clock.
Sanders against the smaller Woo Sung Wei. 18 seconds. Brickman. Oh. Passing it to no one.
Expecting Paul Zamar to cut to the corner.
Was late to get his position there. So a turnover for Mono Vampire. That is turnover number 10 for them. So last shot for the Formosa Dreamers. Young, and foul called. Mono Vampire have a foul to give. So the next one will result to free throws for Formosa.
That's his second personal foul on Paul Zamar. So the Mono Vampire are doing a good job really turning the tables here in the second quarter. They've outscored the Dreamers 25-9.
And Hosa unable to hit on the last second try. And after 2 quarters of play, we have the Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Again, you mentioned it already, Marco, making a big run in the second quarter to take this 15-point lead, 49-34 at halftime here in Changhua County Stadium in Taiwan. So lots of things to talk about for the Formosa Dreamers, but Mono Vampire again in control. A 25-9 quarter for them to just dominate the Formosa Dreamers in front of their home crowd.
好的，教练，其实，在第一节的时候可以看到梦想家在第一节的时候打的是进攻还是有防守，都是打的比较有侵略性。那可以讲一下你在赛前有跟球员说些什么吗？
其实我们之前蛮多的比赛都是一开始都大比分的落后，所以我们也希望球员从一开始的专注力就要有，然后从一开始就要打出一个侵略性的一个球风，所以一开始我们确实有做到这样子的一个赛前的设定，对。
不过其实可以看到，在第二节打完，现在分数被拉开到15分了，打得有些凌乱，跟第一节似乎有些不一样。你觉得这是什么原因？
就是让我们希望年轻球员从一开始的时候，我们有好的一个开局，那也希望他们不管是第2节、第3节、第4节比赛结束的时候，他们才能够把这个专注力给拿掉所以也希望我们今天半场之后局里面开，我们希望球员能够拿起下半场的时候能够重新再找回一些注意力，然后把节奏再整理一下这样子。
好的，谢谢教练。
好
的，那在这边访问暂时告一个段落，要请观众朋友先稍微休息一下。
感觉一下，动4秒，9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。3分半。30。
我知道你的兴奋，我跟你一样。好，听到音乐一停的时候，就往两边上来，看你哪边的篮筐比较近，就往两边上来或投篮。但你一定要超过我们这张超字塔。
9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。 5.
Back inside Changhua County Stadium for the live coverage of your Asean Basketball League. At halftime, it is Mono Vampire Basketball Club with a 15-point lead, 49-34, courtesy of that big second quarter for them, outscoring Formosa Dreamers 25-9. Martin Javier with Marco Benitez, and we're back inside Changhua County Stadium. Reggie Ocosa on your screens. So struggling from the field as we take a look at our halftime stats here.
Really, the story of that first half was the 25-9 outburst in that second quarter. As you take a look at the numbers, rebounding-wise, dominated by the Mono Vampire squad. Not really known as the best rebounding team in the league. But they're known as the best offensive team in terms of points per game. Assists, they're also known as one of the best. On track for their 22 assists per ball game, 11 in the first half. 10 turnovers for the Dreamers, 11 for the Mono Vampire squad. And both teams going to the line about 10 times in the game. 6 3-pointers out of 16 attempts for the Mono Vampires. They are the number 3 team in terms of 3-point percentage. And they average about 10 3-point makes per ball game, while the Dreamers are 3 out of 12 from long distance.
So Formosa, after that blistering start for them, led it by 1 after the first. They're down by 15 again at halftime, and it's a similar situation from yesterday as they're only shooting 35% from the field, 13 out of 37 in total. And Coach Su-Hao Cheng, he has a lot of work to do to turn this game around, and we see Reggie Ocosa and Lenny Daniel discussing now. It's going to be interesting how they will fare in the second half. Both players combined for only 5 out of 18 shooting from the field in the first half. So that's going to be something to watch out for if you are a Formosa Dreamers fans. And when we come back, we are going to give you second half action of this game. Again, after 2, it's Mono Vampire with the lead 49-34. Your Asean Basketball League will be right back.
30秒。20秒。8、 7、6、5、4、3、2、1，再拖。好，还来 lock， 还来2分10秒。
The first half, game between Formosa Dreamers and Mono Vampire Basketball Club. And Li Ping-hung, or this is Woo Sung-wei, getting into the act for Formosa Dreamers in the first half. He had 5 points. Those was his Will's 2 baskets in the first half. Chai Wei also contributing for them. And a slow start for the big guy, Samuel Teguara, in his ABL debut. Nailing the jumper there. So a soft touch from the big guy. But Paul Zamar has been the hot guy for Mono today. Nailing the 3-pointer there for a total of 15 points. 3 out of 6 from Rainbow Country. Lenny Daniel, that we mentioned earlier, only 3 out of 8 from the field. 7 points with 5 rebounds. Here's his second basket for Lenny as he gets the reverse to go. Patrick Sanders on the other side. A bit of a struggle also for him. Only 2 out of 7 from the field for rebounds. So it's going to be interesting to see how they will bounce back in the second half. And Marco, also going to be interesting to see the adjustments for Coach Su-Hao Cheng. The third quarter adjustments hasn't been there in the previous contest for them. They're going up against a Coach Douglas Marty, who is good with those kinds of adjustments, coming off halftime and adjusting to the pace of your opponent.
Well, actually, we saw some of those adjustments in the second quarter after a first quarter where Formosa was able to counter the presence of Sam Teguara. They put Teguara inside the paint, prevented him from going outside the channels, those outside shots. It resulted in a better second quarter for the Mono Vampire squad. So expect more of the same for Coach Douglas Marty in that third quarter. While for the Formosa Dreamers, they're going to have to pick up the defensive intensity, do something, or try to make a repeat of what they did in that first quarter, and really force the issue against the offense of the Mono Vampires to try to force some turnovers. They forced the Mono Vampires to 10 turnovers in that first half of the ball game, and they were able to score 13 points off turnover. So they're going to have to do a lot more of that and get points in transition. They'll come back in this game. Biggest lead of the game is 15 points, which is where we stand right now.
So under 2.5 minutes remaining till the start of the second half. Let's see if they can make those adjustments. Talking about the Formosa Dreamers and get their first home win of the season, or will Mono Vampire prevail and get this victory? 2 minutes remaining from the start of the second half. This is your Asean Basketball League. Mono Vampire on top, 49-34.
1分。30。20。9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。
Formosa Dreamers playing a second game of a back-to-back. They lost yesterday against the Saigon Heat, 99-85. And now they are down at the half against Mono Vampire Basketball Club, 49-34. Coach Suao Cheng and the rest of his guys looking to create a strong start. And again, like you mentioned, duplicate their effort in the first quarter of this game. Or after that, they got the 1-point lead over Mono Vampire.
And if you're Coach Suao Cheng, you throw the stats out the window here. This is your 4th home game, if I'm not mistaken, and you have not come away with the win. So you're playing for a lot of pride here in front of this hometown crowd. You don't want to send them on their 2nd consecutive weekend with back-to-back losses. You just want some defensive intensity to get back in this game. Want to trim this lead down to about 10 points or even less as we end the 3rd quarter and hopefully make a run in the 4th.
And we start off the second half with a miss from someone de Guara, 4 out of 10. Changhua missing the corner 3. Nice save. Rebounding save from Chai Wei. Here's the corner 3 from him. In and out. Okosa offensive board and a putback for Reggie Okosa.
You see that every time the Guara is drawn outside that painted area, advantage goes to the Dreamers with Okosa and then Daniel in the paint.
Jason Brickman to Patrick Sanders. Zamar now, one dribble to the right and knocks down the 3.
He continues his hot shooting streak. 18 points in the game for Paul Zamar.
Daniel out of control. While he was driving to the basket, a turnover for Formosa.
And now the biggest lead of the ball game at 16.
They go inside the Guara. Double teamed.
That's going to be a 3-second violation. The Guara has to learn to make that quick move. Does not need to put the ball down on the floor. Just a quick turnaround baby hook against a smaller Reggie Okosa.
That's the second 3-second violation called against Samuel de Guara. Okosa, the bounce pass. They go to the other side. Daniel with the ball against Zamar. So, fakes the 3. Chai Wei takes it. Too strong. Daniel gets the offensive board. Back outside. Chen Yuhan open for 3. In and out. Still nothing for the Formosa Dreamers.
Chai Wei seems to be really out of sync. 1 out of 6 from the field. Hesitating on those open outside shots.
Here's Sanders backing down. Tried to lob it up to his big guy inside.
And that's the right idea there for Patrick Sanders and de Guara. Just lob it inside the paint to the big man. There's an earlier foul there on Chen Yuhan.
See that play again.
It's a hand check.
While Sanders was backing down and an easy basket inside.
That's what we were talking about, just a quick move to the basket from de Guara.
9 markers now for de Guara. 5 out of 11 from the field. Here's Daniel. Losing it momentarily. Daniel goes inside. Okosa to the corner. Even bothered by the defense of de Guara, but Chen Yuhan with a free throw line, Jay.
And continues to be one of the bright spots here. 14 points in the game. Only player in double figures for the Dreamers. And another great entry pass into de Guara. Draws the foul against Lenny Daniel.
Defense late. to cover Deguara underneath as Lenny Daniel was called for the foul to prevent the throwdown from the 7'4" Samuel Deguara.
Just to give you an idea of how long Deguara is, that time, despite the foul, almost still able to stuff it in the rim.
It's too easy if you give them that position inside. Knocks down 1 out of 2. It's a 17-point lead for the visiting team. Cho drives. Leaves it off Daniel. Stops again. Cho, top of the 3. No good. Deguara secures the rebound.
Head and shoulders above everybody else.
Brickman. Oh, nice feed. Sanders off the glass.
There's a familiarity between Brickman and Patrick Sanders, and you love how Brickman head on a swivel all the time. That is assist number 8 for Brickman.
And the lead has ballooned to 19. 57-38. Changhua, 1 dribble in, a jumper too strong. And Zaman taps it to Chantachon. Here's Brickman. The bounce pass. Chantachon. No good. Changhua on the move. Drops it off. Daniel! Doesn't get the slam, doesn't get the follow. And he gets it on the second try.
A way to stick with it for Lenny Daniel.
57-40, 6.5 minutes remaining in the third. Jason Brickman lobs it inside again, too deep.
And there you go again, just lob it up there for the big man.
The two-handed hammer from Deguara. Daniel knocks down the 3.
But you cannot afford to trade baskets here against Mono Vampire.
And again, Deguara with position. He falls down there. No foul called. Okosa. Chai Wei. Backs the rim. Nice challenge from Sanders. Sanders stops. Sends it to Brickman. Wide open for the floater.
2 points. Nobody coming back in transition for the Dreamers.
Most of Dreamers. Again, down by 18 now. Daniel with a 3-point try, no good. Brickman on the move, nice feed. Chantachon with a finish.
Another pair of fast break points and another assist for Jason Brickman.
A 20-point lead now for Mono Vampire Basketball Club. It's here's the lob inside. Samuel Deguara, two-handed stuff, barely jumping there.
And Mono Vampires have sucked the life out of this building.
Here's the throwdown missed by Lenny Daniel. Missing also on the follow, but getting it on the second attempt. 20-point lead. The bounce pass. Met up top by Deguara. Brickman, the lob and the jam!
Oh, what a luxury for Jason Brickman. Every lob being caught and put into 2 points by Sam Deguara.
15 points now for the newest world import of the league and of the Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Look at that jam from Deguara. Timeout on the floor, 22-point lead for Mono. Your ABL will return after this.
10秒，9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。
Mono, Vampire and Deguara a chance to add to that. At the free throw line, knocks down the free throw, completes the three-point play.
The Vampire is still sticking to that full court pressure. And you know, Martin, what you love about Sam Deguara, despite his height, still makes an effort to run the floor. He has been the recipient of multiple passes or multiple assists from Jason Brickman. He has made Jason Brickman's life a lot easier. 12 assists or 13 assists already for Brickman.
Knocks down the jumper on the other side.
1-point advantage here for Mono.
And Brickman goes to Deguara. Trying to feed it inside. Changhua to make the shot. Gets his own miss. Straight away three from Brickman, no good. And Yang with a long rebound. Yang Tianyo sends it to Wu. Knocks down the throw. Oh no, in and out for Wu.
That kind of afternoon for Woo Sung-wei after his 21-point explosion yesterday.
Now when halfway in though, Sanders loses the ball. Nice tap from Lee. Yang Tianyo again. 3-on-2 for Formosa. Back to Yang. Now 3-on-3. Lee gets the layup in.
Way to reward the big man for running the floor. Assist coming from Yang Tianyo.
19-point lead for Mono. Zamar navigating his way through traffic. And we got a jump ball there.
And Zamar forcing the issue. Good defense on the part of Lee Cha-ching.
So Arnett Guangla will replace Tirawat Chantachon.
Chantachon did an excellent job on the pass. 9 rebounds. 14 minutes of play.
Doing figures for this Mono Vampire basketball. He's not rebounding, he's snapping the ball to his teammates. Yang Tianyo double teamed. Two powers of Mono. Shoots over them. No good. Guangla gets the board. That's his fourth shot right there. Sanders gives it off and Deguara down the middle for the hammer.
Lenny Daniel with the right business decision not to challenge that slam.
Not going to get included in the poster. Wu knocks down the throw. There you go.
You gotta make stops on this end of the floor if you're the Formosa Dreamers.
Second triple for Woo Sung-wei. Sanders, step back Jay short. Brickman gets the long rebound. Deguara now. And the baseline, Jay knocks it down.
Wow, what a soft touch there from Deguara.
Young, wraparound pass stolen by Zamar. Zamar on the move. Rejected by Daniel.
What an effort from Lenny Daniel.
The volleyball block there, not giving up on the play. Let's take a look at that. Lenny Daniel.
Block up top.
Flying high to get that rejection.
He has really given the effort here. 14 points, 22 minutes of play, 8 rebounds, a block, 6 out of 14 from the field.
Zamar again goes to Deguara. This time he will send it across. 8 seconds to shoot for Mono. Crossover. The kick out. Send it to Zamar. The corner three. Knocks it down. Wide open three for Paul Zamar.
How about the distribution, the ball distribution from Jason Brickman? Assist number 14.
Go inside to Lee. Daniel from straight away. Too strong. And Guangla gets the board. Chen Yuhan getting too aggressive on the rebound play.
Jason Brickman has 14 assists. The entire Formosa Dreamers squad has 12 assists.
Wow.
Martin.
Out assisting an entire team here. The primary reason why they have the 23-point lead is good ball distribution from Brickman. Sanders. No good, Deguara. Easy rebound. A big and a jab.
That's just vicious.
Samuel Deguara having a piece inside. Lenny Daniel says something about that, gets the basket to go, and the foul.
And that's the way you attack the big man. Take it strong, draw the foul, and get to the free throw line.
Nice move by Lenny Daniel. 16 points now for Lenny. Nice high. Goes high off the glass as well.
Deguara is going to be relieved by Dequatiwa. That is his 4th personal foul. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks so far.
And 12 of those coming here in the second half. Nice steal and save from Young. Daniel on the move. Wu, the pull-up 3. Wu gets it through!
Assist coming from Lenny Daniel. Still a lot of time here, an entire 4th quarter to go.
Kwatiwa. No good on the counter. Wu saves the ball. Young on the move again. Here's Young. Oh, what a move by Yang Tianyo.
5 straight points here for the Dreamers. Cut the lead down to 17.
36 seconds left. A run here and a steal from Wu. Wu gets the layup. Wow! What a run for the Formosa Dreamers.
No timeouts from Coach Douglas Marty.
Here's Brickman, gets it in. Wangla with a reverse.
Wow, Jason Brickman, another assist, making it look easy. 15 assists for Jason Brickman.
And that stops the run of the Formosa Dreamers. Daniel, no good. Wangla with a board. Not enough time to get a shot off for Mono Vabar. But despite that, a strong effort in the 3rd. They hold on to this 17-point advantage, 77-60. The setting quarter of this game, your Asean Basketball League. We'll return after this. Dreamers down by 17 points to enter the 4th period. Martin Rivera with Marco Benitez breaking this game down for you. And Marco, Mono Vabar was up by as big as 25 points in the 3rd, but a late surge from the smallest guys from the Formosa Dreamers, aka Yang Kian-Yo and Woo Sung-wei, with a mini run to end the third to bring them to within 17 points. Let's see if they could recover here. Changhua left wide open, in and out, and Guangla with the offensive board.
That's going to be a foul on Yang Kian-Yo. Defense got scrambled there. Nobody left the rebound after letting Daniel challenge that outside shot.
Biggest factor for Mono Vampire in the third was Samuel Teguara. He's on the bench right now, scoring 12 points in the third period alone for a total of 20 points. And this is an offensive foul on Darumpan Apirong Vilaychay. So a turnover for Mono.
Looks like it's going to be an illegal screen there, right there on number 15, Lee Cha-ching. Despite the effort, although it was a great effort there from the Formosa Dreamers at the latter portion of the third quarter, they were able to salvage that quarter, although they still allowed Mono Vampire to score 28 points in that third.
Mono still scored more, and Formosa 28-26 in that third period. Shoot for Woo. It's all.
Going to be turnover.
He apologizes right away to his coach and to his teammates.
Number 17 for the Mono Vampire squad. They average about 16 a game.
Okosa on the bench for the Formosa Dreamers to start the fourth. Cross-court pass. Woo again will try from the right corner this time. Nothing there.
Has not really been as efficient hitting that three-point shot as he did yesterday.
Out of 9 now for Woo Sung-wei. Nanti though gets it through on the other side.
Talking about a solid contribution off the bench. Chichai Ananti, 4 out of 6. 2 out of 3 from long distance.
Here's Lee Cha-ching backing down. Daniel. Ball tapped away and broken up by Mono.
Good help side defense from Ananti.
Brickman slips the defense. Nice touch pass to Guangla. He draws the foul on Lee Cha-ching.
Masterful job here by Jason Brickman running the offense. 15 assists in the game. Would have been assists number 16.
6 points and 15 dimes for Mr. Brickman. Guangla takes his first trip to the line. He knocks down the first. Charles Barrett. And for the first time as well for the Dreamers. 2 out of 2 for Guangla. 82-60. 5-0 run to start the fourth for Mono. Woo Sung-wei finally knocks down the three.
Nice assist coming from Yang. Corner triple from Woo Sung-wei.
Finding it for those corner triples. To the reverse.
Again, trading baskets here with Mono Vampire.
You got to do a better job on defense if you want to come back in this game. It's still a 21-point advantage. Yang Kian-Yo wide open on the other side. Nothing there. Daniel taps the ball to a Mono Vampire player. Brickman on the other side gets the layup in.
Good job shielding that ball from Charles Barrett.
It's a 23-point lead. Daniel gets to the paint. The fader doesn't fall. And a foul given up.
Frustration foul there from Lenny Daniel. And it looks like he's going to call it an afternoon here with 7:19 remaining. All local squad here, plus the heritage import Charles Barrett.
Straight to the bench is Lenny Daniel. Here's the basket earlier by Jason Brickman. This is Kanut Samachai. Also an all-local lineup for Mono Vampire Basketball Club.
It's going to be a foul on Yang Kian-Yo.
That's the fourth team foul with 7 minutes, 11 seconds left in the fourth. Chai attacks and finishes with a left hand.
Nifty left-handed layup gets the steal.
But denied by Lee Cha-ching. Great effort though by Hanok Chai. Heads up play to get the steal. Another chance for them to increase this lead.
Samar Chai, really known as one of the basketball heroes locally in Thailand.
So he has 7 minutes to really show out for Mono here. But a turnover there. That's a second illegal screen for Darumpan Aperon Villachai here in the 4th.
Mono now also with an all-local squad.
So a fun matchup in our deciding period. Whoa, fakes it. Closely covered now by Mono. He forces his way inside and gets the banker in. Steal now for Lee Ping Hong. Throws the ball away though. 23-point advantage. Aperon Villachai. Dangerous court pass. Changhua gets it to a cunning Ananti.
And you just see the familiarity between the players of the Mono Vampire squad. Pretty much knowing where each other will be on offense.
And these players either playing in their local league or in the national team. So they have a lot of experience under their belt.
A new face on the floor, that is number 12, Serapong Bunyai, makes his first appearance.
Carried inside and he gets the bucket.
Charles Barat also making a contribution yesterday in garbage time.
4 points yesterday. Here's Bunyai. Left alone. Nice find by Chichai Ananti.
That's going to be assist number 26 for Mono. Average about 22 assists per game.
Lee short on the 3. Fuangla.
Fuangla and Ananti, very similar in build, long, lanky.
Samar Chai though loses the ball. He's looking to pass it to Arnott Fuangla.
Douglas Martin emptying his bench. But then Subawich Kukwandin.
Lee with a left hand. Nice finish for Lee Cha-ching. Mono Vampire on the attack. It's denied. Cha-ching with a rejection. Chen Yu-han doesn't get the layup to fall, but a foul called on Chichai Ananti.
Ananti giving no freebies here against Chen Yu-han.
TV timeout here. It is a 23-point lead for Mono Vampire Basketball Club. 52-69, under 5 minutes remaining in the contest here. ABL will be back after this.
好了，第四节的比赛暂停的时间呢，我们持续来多让步一下，好吧？我们。
9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1、1。
9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。 Back to our coverage here, Mono Vampire Basketball Club sitting on a 23-point lead, 92-69, but it's Chen Yuhan at the free throw line for the Formosa Dreamers. Both teams fielding their all local lineups on the floor.
Chen Yuhan, 30 leading scorer for the Dreamers today, has been one of the bright spots. Yu Sung Wei with a late flurry here in the second half, already up to 16 points.
Kukandin hounded by the defense, and Chen Yuhan comes up with it. The quick movement. Oh, and a chase down block from Chichai Ananti.
Ananti, one of the most athletic wings on this Mono Vampire squad.
Lee again gets the basket inside.
Good spot there on the floor. Referee stops play.
So a quick 4-0 run for the Formosa Dreamers. This was the chase down by Chichai Ananti, not giving up on the play.
Let's see if the Dreamers can make a run here, make the lead, or cut the lead to a more respectable figure. But that's going to be a foul on Lee Ping Hong. And that's going to send Yun Yai to the free throw line.
15th foul on the Formosa Dreamers. So we're now in the penalties. Hirapong Bunyai to shoot 2 free throws. First trip for him. Bunyai knocks down the first. 3 guys in double figures for the Mono Vampire Basketball Club. 2 from the starting lineup. Zamar and Iguara, 21 and 22 points or each. And Chichai Ananti off the bench with 16. 2 free throws in, back to a 21-point lead for Mono. Barrett sends it to Wu. Lee Ping Hong, guarded by Summer Chai. Chen Yuhan fires away, in and out again.
They have not really connected that well from the outside. 7 of 30 from long distance are the Formosa Dreamers.
Still struggling from the outside. Isbangna puts it on the floor. Stolen by Chen Yuhan. Chen still pushing and puts it in.
That's been really one of the bright spots here. Nobody coming back in transition as Ananti finishes up top.
18 points now for Chichai Ananti on an efficient 7 out of 9 clip.
18 of the 30 points coming from Ananti off the bench.
Great game again for Chichai Ananti. Again, he had 14 against the Saigon Heat in their previous contest. Now he has 18. Ball tapped out of bounds.
Just a luxury here for Coach Douglas Marty. Remember in the first half, it was a 25-24 first quarter. In the second quarter, he inserts Chichai Ananti and really spearheaded hustle effort in that second quarter. Really turned things around. That 25-9 second quarter. The Mono Vampires have not looked back since.
And in that second period, we saw why Mono Vampire is the highest scoring team in the league. They average about 103 points per game. They're 7 points away. We still have under 3 minutes left. Lee Ping Hong. The ball fake. The left-handed layup is off, but a foul on Chichai Ananti.
With this impending win here by Mono Vampire, they're going to move to 5-3. Solo third spot, while the Formosa Dreamers will drop to 1-6 at the bottom of the heap. CLS Knights in 8th spot with a 1-5 record.
Again, only 6 teams are going to make the playoffs in season number 8.
This is the first of 2 meetings between these 2 teams who are from different groups. Formosa Dreamers grouped together with Chongson, the Hong Kong Eastern basketball squad.
It's one tough group.
While the Mono Vampires are grouped together with Heat and the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
For the Formosa Dreamers, and we're grouped against two of the only undefeated teams in the league.
A tough draw for them.
20-point lead for Mono. 2:39 remaining in the contest. Barrett fires away off the glass, no good. He gets his own miss. Down the middle, too strong now for Charles Barrett. Couldn't get either jumper to fall. Summer Chai hounded by Lee. And possession will remain with Mono with 15 seconds to work with. Chichai, long three. Short, Lee gets the rebound. Chen catches the ball, step out of bounds though. Stepped on the sideline there. Chen Yuhan.
Coach Suhar Chen will have to go back to the drawing board after this loss.
To the steal, Yang Tianyo. On the move, Yang gets the foul.
I love the effort though from this speedy guard, number 7, Yang Tianyo. He was the hero of their first and only win here against the Saigon Heat at 15 points.
Yang at the free throw line, knocks down the second, lead down to 19. Under 2 minutes remaining. Lee, great hustle.
Formosa continuing to press. That's a great effort from Lee. Drawing applause from the crowd.
And a rare treat for the fans here, as both teams again are fielding both all local lineups.
We were talking to one of the team owners of the Formosa Dreamers, Chen. He was saying that this team is, one of its priorities is really the developing the local players, developing the community around Formosa.
And so far, we've been seeing bright spots from the local guys. Chen Yuhan, Wu Song-wei. Wu Song-wei, by the way, is the star of their reality program here in Taiwan called Rise. And he has come out and has become one of the brightest spots for the Formosa Dreamers. 21 points yesterday, and in this game, 16 points for Wu Song-wei. Tsai at the free throw line now.
One of the guys that they've been missing in the last couple of games is Changhua. Able to provide them with a lot of scoring outside sniping.
Although he hasn't played in both games. Both games this weekend for the Dreamers, as Kokondin gets the basket and completes the three-point play. 100-79 our score.
Mono Vampire squad averages about 102 points per game, so just 2 shy of their average.
Marco with 7 games in for the Formosa Dreamers. How do we think you need to this matchup if you are?
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if they make some changes, some major changes for their 8th game of the season. Still a long season. As you mentioned, top 6 teams are going to advance, and 3 teams are going to be eliminated in this 9-team field.
Especially if you play your games against the teams in your bracket, tied right there getting the layup. And the teams included in their bracket. Chongsun Kung Fu and Hong Kong Eastern, both still undefeated. Hong Kong at 7-0. Chongsun Kung Fu with their victory last night. A tough one against the CLS Knights on the road, 86-83. 4-0 now in the season. Yang Ken-Yo switched to defense. Tried to leave it off to Tsai, but a foul is called first.
And because these two teams, Chongsun and Hong Kong, are in the same group as Formosa, they're going to play 3 more games against each of those. So 6 of their 12 remaining games are going to be against the 2 undefeated teams. So talk about a tough schedule here for the Dreamers.
Yang Ken-Yo to the line. 18-point advantage now, under a minute left.
That's going to be another foul here, just prolonging the agony here.
So that'll mean free throws for Mono Vampire. Chance to move closer to their point average of under 3 points per game. Woo Sung-wei checking back in for Chen Yuhan. Chen Yuhan sits with 18 points, 2 rebounds and 2 assists with 2 steals as well. 6 out of 15 from the field.
He continues his stellar play off the bench. 21 points.
Ball stolen away. Chai on the move. Chai, difficult layup, and he gets it to fall.
Acrobatic shot there from Chai.
Chai counters on the other end. 26 seconds remaining. Just waiting for the final score here, but on the Vampire Basketball Club, dramatic victory on the road. Chuangla, step out of bounds. 19 seconds for the Dreamers. Back-to-back home losses for the Formosa Dreamers. Yesterday they lost to the Saigon Heat 99-85, and now they lose to Mono Vampire Basketball Club by 20 points, of 104-84. The Vampire now moves up to 5-3, cementing that 3rd spot in our standings. And the Formosa Dreamers, well, they crash to a 1-7 slate in their first 8 games of the season. Any thoughts here, Marco, on this game?
Well, you just cannot get into a dogfight or into a shootout against the Mono Vampire squad. #1 offensive team in terms of points per game. They did they played a great defense in that first quarter. Despite that, Mono Vampire still scored 24 points, and they just were not able to continue with the defensive intensity. And in fact, Mono was able to turn the tables around and limited them to 9 points in the second quarter. And that was pretty much all she wrote for the Formosa Dreamers.
It's a 20-point lead for win for Mono Vampire Basketball Club. Great debut as well for their new world import. Replacing Reggie Johnson is Samuel De Guara. 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 denials for the big guy from Malta. 10 out of 16 from the field for Samuel De Guara. Next to him, of course, is Paul Zammer with 21 points. And Chichai Ananti off the bench contributed 21 as well for Mono. An impressive 7 out of 10 shooting from the field. A spark off the bench for Mono Vampire. As you see, the Formosa Dreamers regroup here in the middle of the court. But the dream is still alive for the Dreamers. They have 12 games left. Chance for them to regroup and retool. Leading scorers for the Formosa Dreamers, Changhua with 18 points. Danny Daniel following him in a tough shooting night, 17 points. And our courtside reporter is with our best player of the game for the Formosa Dreamers.
可以 Q 场边主播了。来，3、2、1，讲话。
好，场边为您访问到的是陈玉翰。玉翰这一次是我们第一次遇到泰国莫洛吸血鬼队，你觉得这支球队跟之前的球队打起来有什么不一样？
我觉得这支球队非常注重他们内线的那一个大外援，然后我们在这个点上也没有解决得很好，然后以至于今天输球这样。
其实，在第一节的时候，梦想家是有领先1分的。不过，你觉得在后面球队沟通到底是遇到了什么问题，导致今天输球的原因？
我觉得不只是防守出问题吧，在进攻上面也是在第二节宕机，然后以至于我们分数被领先这么多，然后到现在就是追不回来。然后我希望我去看影片，然后再做检讨吧。
另外看到你手上有包扎，可不可以讲一下目前手上伤势的状况？
手伤是可能昨天比赛的时候有用到，可是没有什么注意，然后应该没事，下一场会好。
好，谢谢玉翰。在这边要请观众朋友先稍微休息一下，等一下继续回来11频道。
4、3、2、1，交。2分。